What's up, everybody? Brian here, and welcome to another edition of People's Questions. Now, I actually got three really good questions from three good friends of mine, and one that is a little bit personal, but I'll explain in due time. And not only that, at the end of this episode, I will then be announcing question 2 of my second contest, in which I will be offering once again another $20 PlayStation Network gift card. So, enough rambling, let's get to it. Question 1 actually comes from last contest winner, Spectral Shadow, and he would like to know, what is my favorite Final Fantasy and why? Okay, now there's two different types of Final Fantasy games for me, at least. There's one that's my favorite, and there's one that's the most important to me. The most important one to me is Final Fantasy VII. If you'd really like to know why, it is literally the most important Final Fantasy I've played. If you'd like to know, just send the question down below and I'll answer it in my next episode. But my all-time favorite one is Final Fantasy X. Absolutely my favorite one. In fact, if I'm sure, it's actually the first Final Fantasy for the PlayStation 2. And that was the first console that I actually got real serious into gaming, so it has personal meaning. Now, the reason it's my favorite is simply because it has a lot of heart, and it's not quite as open world as like all the other previous games, and which, when it came to all the other previous Final Fantasy games, I always had the same problem, and that was, it was very easy to get lost. And that's something you don't have to worry about, because you're kind of on a much linear path. Now, you're not quite as linear as like that piece of shit Final Damnation 1 and 2, however, but it's kind of linear but still open wide. It has by far probably my second favorite cast of characters, and yes, I know some people, when it comes to Tidus or Titus, however you like to say it, I call him Titus. Yeah, he kind of does look like a girl, but trust me, he's a very badass character. And the thing about Titus more than any other character is he represents the gamer or the players, because when something happens in the game that you're asking like, what the hell is that, or what does this thing do, he asks the same question. So he kind of embodies the player, which is something none of the other Final Fantasies do. Another thing is they actually add the ability, when it comes to your summons, to actually control them. You don't just summon them, they do the special attack, and then they go away. No, you actually can fight with them, and that's a very cool feature that I liked. But above all, it probably has my favorite Final Fantasy villain, even higher than Sephiroth on my list, and that's Seymour. My favorite Seymour fight is definitely the third one, and I love all the battle theme musics for it. Now, there's many other reasons why this one is my favorite, but that was just a quick list, and Yuna's pretty cute too. Yeah, that's a quick list of why it's my favorite. I could do a whole 10-minute video with gameplay. Heck, if you want, I'll do a review for it. Just comment down below and say you'd like to see a review of this, and I can get deeper into everything I really love more than any other Final Fantasy game. So, yeah, that's my favorite Final Fantasy. Next question is from a new subscriber of mine, and here's the personal question that I was a little thrown off by. He wants to know, why did I get Alpha Spirit Wolf obsessed with Call of Duty? Now, I'm sure Alpha's watching this right now, and I would just like to say this is not a personal attack on you. You are a very cool person, very great gamer, and a great friend. But if someone asks me a question, I'm a man of my word. If you send a question in, I'm going to answer it. But, okay, I have to agree with him a little. In the time that I've known you, I will say this, in the probably 10 years I've known you, I have never seen you play a game quite as much or as intense as Call of Duty. And trust me, you've played, I don't know, you were playing Final Fantasy before really I was too into it. You introduced me to Kingdom Hearts. Heck, I mean, you weren't even that into Resident Evil 4 until I introduced you, and then you got really into it. I mean, more than I did. So I'm not ashamed to say that introducing this game to you is probably my greatest regret. I can only wonder what you would have been like if I had never introduced it to you this game. Maybe your game collection would have been larger. I don't know. But despite my gripes with you playing Call of Duty too much, and I'm sure your friend here, I'm not going to say it's entirely negative, because the fact that you were able to actually play a game better than I can, and in fact actually helped me kind of achieve a lot of trophies. If some of you don't know, I'm a very intense trophy hunter, but I'm kind of in retirement mode. If it really weren't for your kind of growth towards Call of Duty, I probably wouldn't have been able to achieve getting the platinum trophies for them as I did, because trust me, some of them take a lot of teamwork and are not easy to get. But I'm just saying, you know, it would really, as a friend, I'd really like to see you kind of widen your gaze. I mean, trust me, there are hundreds of libraries. Don't just play your typical games of Uncharted or Call of Duty or Final Fantasy. No, trust me, there's tons of games. I just, you know, it would be nice, and I'm sure Science Cheetah would really like to see you play other games too, because trust me, he's a great friend to me, and he's sure a great friend to you, and we're just a little concerned because people do get obsessed with games. I mean, if you don't remember, too many years ago, people were obsessed with WoW, and there was actually people out there that made these little websites that talk about this obsession to this. You're kind of falling into that category, and it's kind of scary, and I kind of personally feel responsible, and you cannot say that you would be playing this if it wasn't for me. So again, I apologize for introducing to this game Science Cheetah. I really am sorry for that. It was never my intention for Alpha to get this into Call of Duty, but I'm not going to say I regret it 100%, because he is pretty damn good at it, and I'm actually glad to see a friend of mine actually get better in a game that I used to top him in. So I am really proud of him for that. And that's all I have to say about Call of Duty. And the last question I have for today is actually from quite possibly my biggest fan and biggest friend, greatest friend, is from Smooth Ace 19, and he actually asked probably my favorite question I've gotten on this show so far. And his question is, would it be better for a God of War live action movie to have an A-list actor, a well-known one, or an unknown? When it comes to video game based movies, it's kind of a mixed bag, because here's the ups and downs for each side. Personally, for like a God of War live action movie, I personally would pick Vin Diesel, personally, because the guy's big. I think he could get away with the voice a little, and he definitely has that badass vibe about him. If I could pick to be who I'd like to be Kratos, he would be on top. And not only that, because he's an A-list actor, people who don't know what God of War is would actually still go see this, and then they could be introduced to this series too. So then you can actually get people who don't know anything about God of War into this, and you know, you help out both sides. The downside to it is you're not quite sure if he can pull off, because it's really the God of War series is a very beloved series, so you have to treat it with respect. We've seen many times throughout history when it comes to these movies that makers, directors, and producers, they see the story and it's exactly what the fans want. However, they personally don't feel that's really the problem with Hollywood. Why they feel the need to change what we already know and love. We don't want to see a different version of the story. We want to see the story we all know and love. We don't want to see you change it. You can make small changes just for the fact because you're transferring it from a game to a movie. So changes are inevitable. But don't change too much to the point where it's completely different. Or you will have a Dragon Ball Evolution or the Last Airbender situation and it'll be complete shit. And trust me, fans will get upset as I was. So there are some ups and downs of getting an A-list actor. Now, here's the advantages and disadvantages of getting an unknown. With an unknown, it's really on, the movie is really on that actor's shoulders. And it's really the type of role that can either make or break his career. Because if you put an unknown in a part and he does well, that opens tons of doors and his career will kick off. If he fails and like damages the movie and is like the main reason it sucks, he will never get another opportunity in Hollywood again. I mean, going back to Dragon Ball Evolution, has anyone seen Justin Chatwin lately? No? I haven't seen him either. So, and the downside is if you get an unknown that no one knows about, then how are you going to convince people that this is the right guy? Because I don't know what this guy can do. It's kind of half and half. It's like, okay, I don't know who this actor is. Do I think that this person could pull off? You have to show me something first. And if I like what I see, I will give this actor a chance in this role. And if he does good, I will praise him, and I would like to see him do it again. If he fails, then I want him to get the hell out of here and just go away. And that's really the ups and downs of either getting an A-list or an unknown. Now that we got the questions out of the way, it's time to go into our number 2 question for the contest. Now, the first question I did last time was pretty damn easy, so I'm going to make sure this one is really kind of harder. So here's the question. What is my favorite song? Now I know what you're thinking. I have not talked about music I listen to, so how could you personally know? But I'm going to give you a really good hint. I'm going to give you a line in a very well-known movie. And I don't want you to tell me what the movie is or who says it. I just want the name of the song and the artist. The line is this. I can change almost anything, but I cannot change blank. Now the blank is the actual name of the song. That's what I want. I want the name of the song and I want the artist. That's all I want. And I don't want multiple answers. I just want one answer this time. Not multiple answers like last time. If you have the answer, please either send it to my email or send it to my personal PlayStation Network ID, which you will see at the end of this video. Good luck, everybody out there. I'm sure many people want to get this PlayStation Network card, and once I hit 50 subs, we're going to upgrade to $50. So please spread the word. Tell everyone what I'm doing. Send your questions in down below. Please like, comment down below, and subscribe up top. And like always, I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.